Hello and welcome to our first series of Be Human Rights Confident for Lawyers. I'm Anna Triponel and I'm joined by Malin Helgesen today. Welcome, Malin.
Thank you.
We're so pleased to be here, aren't we? We put our suits on today. We put on the hats as we were practicing lawyers, no longer practicing, but still, once a lawyer, always a lawyer. And so we're so thrilled that today we're going to be chatting about why do lawyers need to know about soft law? First though, Malin, maybe viewers are wondering why we're talking about this and why are we talking about soft law and hard law? Well, soft law are basically agreements, principles, declarations that aren't legally binding, like UN General Assembly declarations. Of course, you'd be surprised if I don't mention the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights that was endorsed by the UN Human Rights Council in 2011. But it's not the only example. We have the OECD Guidelines on Multinational Enterprises that's being revised as we speak. We have the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So many examples of soft law. And hard law is when we actually have legal obligations that are binding on the parties involved and can be legally enforced in a court. So I was trained in hard law. I have the bar in New York. I'm a solicitor in England and Wales, and I passed the bar in Paris. But I left hard law to go and work with John Ruggie at Harvard on the UN Guiding Principles development. And the reason was, the frustration that this is where the law is going, and it's not there yet, and I want to be part of the future of the law. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Malin, tell us a bit about your journey from lawyer to where you are now.
Yes, so thank you, Anna. I've been practicing law for 20 years. I'm a lawyer by heart, but no longer by license. I've been a licensed lawyer both in Norway and Sweden. And I left the law to be able to help companies in a more effective way with their human rights and climate work.
Thank you. And we met 10 years ago now, working when you were in the legal department of Equinor, and I was brought in to help support your implementation of the UNGP. So it's really exciting that we're working together in partnership today. Both of us have left the law to be working on soft law, but increasingly is hard law. But let's not respond before we get the question. Why do lawyers need to know about soft law?
Yes, and I will start by quoting the general counsel of a global company I listened to just last week, who said, I don't know why external counsels don't concern themselves with soft law, because for us internally, soft law is very hard. And why is that? Because the soft law is obviously where the law is going, as you just said, and it's also a reflection of the reality of the company. Even if the law has not yet is not yet reflecting the law, and we all know that nowadays, not when I studied law, but nowadays, the reality changes so much quicker than the law. So if you want to give normative advice that's relevant, you have to look for the soft law as well.
Yeah, isn't it fascinating though how the field has evolved so rapidly? I know when the UNGPs were endorsed in 2011, there was a sense in the companies that we were working with at the time, well, there's soft law over here and then there's hard law over there, and there was like two different buckets of things, and how can we make the case that we need to be looking at soft law if we are trained to be looking at hard law? And to a point, I remember the Addendum 2 of the UNGPs is work that we put together with pro bono support from law firms, which went into what are the laws saying on human rights? Where are the laws today? And yes, in 2008, which was published in 2011, there was hardly anything on human rights. And then from 2011 to now, 2023, the wave of the disclosure laws, and then now the due diligence laws, and then the import bans, and what are all of those inspired from? Soft law.
Yes, and what we can see, as you know, Anna, that almost all the laws that are now just through the press of the EU, from forced labor bans to trade laws to deforestation to the due diligence laws to the reporting frameworks, all is based on the guiding principles. But because lawyers, and I've seen this with many of our clients, lawyers haven't read them. So they think it's new, and it's something that they have to try to recreate the meaning of.
Yes.
While there is a vast and very good examples and good practice out there that they could look for if they knew the soft law.
Yes, what really the foundation, the inspiration for these laws that they are now being asked to implement and support clients with. And that essentially is why we're here, Malin, isn't it? We have we're so sort of speaking to so many general counsels and in law firms, in companies, and the sense we have of this oh my gosh, we are feeling so overwhelmed by all of these laws coming up, and how many more people do we need, and just a real sense of overwhelm of these laws popping up. And what our message really is, well, they're not just popping up here. There's really, they are inspired by the direction of travel that is encapsulated in the soft law. So if you take a step back and you look at what that foundation is for all of these laws, it suddenly seems a lot less scary and overwhelming, because you go back to the source and what's driving all of them, and then you can be ready for all of these laws.
And what we know, Anna, is that a lot of clients have people who are very good at the soft laws and have been implementing them in the companies for years, 10 years actually.
Right.
So it's also, I think one important message is to start looking not only beyond the hard law, but also beyond the legal department.
Yes.
And look to other people in your clients' teams.
Yeah.
Who else can we draw on here to understand what we need to do?
Right.
And isn't that another direction of travel, Anna? Not only the speed, but also the complexity of issues.
Yes.
That forces us to think about new people to engage with.
Absolutely.
And we know lawyers don't like that, but we think that's the new way of working.
It's the new reality of work. We can no longer have these specializations where we are sort of with these bricks around, this is my specialty. All the specializations are interconnected with other non-legal areas. And absolutely, we're seeing that companies are operating within these rising ecosystem of challenges and complexities, and it's all connected. So to thrive, to survive, to really be here present as a business that will look to the future, lawyers within companies have the role to play. So yes, there are the laws, but what's the bigger direction of travel here we need to know about, and ask their law firms to be looking at that. I know that came up in a conference recently where law firms are saying, well, our clients are sort of asking us but not really, so it's hard for us to make that case.
But we can then assure law firms, because we know this is a fear of many lawyers to say things to clients that they haven't explicitly asked for.
Right.
But we can only say that our experience is that we feel free now to say what we believe is the right thing to do for the client. And that's why they come to us. So what we usually tell lawyers when we meet them is that we're doing the work that you could have done. So it's also a very big business case for law firms, and also, of course, the business case for the business rationale for internal lawyers. To stay relevant.
Yes.
To have something to offer. So that's really a piece of advice as well.
Yes. I know we said coming into this, we know lawyers are very busy, so we will not take too much time. What are final words that we want to leave lawyers with today? Be
open to new learnings. Think that you will be a better lawyer if you learn new things that are not only hard law, and dare to engage in conversation with your clients about that new learning.
Thank you, Malin, for that. I would say on my end, I would echo that, and then being cognizant of why the laws are the way they are. They don't exist in a vacuum. It's not, we're putting due diligence in place for due diligence's sake. Why is it? What is this law trying to respond to? Because understanding the rationale, what's driving the laws, will then help us better respond to our clients' requests, and then position them for success. As these laws, there's only one way forward. Acceleration and escalation of legal obligations, coupled with litigation, investor requests, consumer demands. This is the future. So in fact, there's a golden opportunity here to be ahead of the curve.
Yes, and also have fun.
And
feel good about yourself.
With that, we'll leave you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Thank you, Malin.
Thank you, Anna.